It's safe to say this Phoenix won't be rising from the ashes. Welcome to Watch Mojo, and today we're discussing Dark Phoenix's biggest problem. We can all agree that the X-Men movies have varied in quality over the past 2 decades. In recent years, however, the franchise has made a genuine effort to right the wrongs of the past. Years after the Merc with a Mouth had his lips sealed shut in X-Men Origins Wolverine, Deadpool was given a hard R spin-off that remained true to the character we love.
But how about crisp high five?
Okay.
Following 2 disappointing Wolverine movies, Hugh Jackman's interpretation of the character received a fitting farewell in the Oscar-nominated Logan.
I gave you a family.
They're gone now.
Meanwhile, Days of Future Past cleverly created a whole new timeline, erasing the X-Men movies we like to pretend never happened. Most notably, The Last Stand. The Last Stand was the first major letdown in this long-running film franchise. Not only did it pack in a legion of unnecessary characters and subplots, but the movie butchered the Dark Phoenix saga.
You would die for them.
No, not for them. For you.
When history was rewritten in Days of Future Past, the door was open for another adaptation of this iconic X-Men storyline. Even with a clean slate, however, Dark Phoenix had a fair deal working against it. Between the poor reception to X-Men Apocalypse, Disney's acquisition of Fox, and a release date that kept getting pushed back, it looked like Dark Phoenix may be destined to crash and burn. Whatever happened though, we all told ourselves it couldn't get any worse than The Last Stand. We were wrong.
She'll kill us all.
Okay, to be fair, Dark Phoenix does improve upon The Last Stand in a couple of respects. Rather than trying to cram in as many subplots as possible, this film keeps the focus on Jean Grey and her evolution into the Phoenix.
Who are you? The better question is, who are you?
The film also takes more inspiration from Chris Claremont and John Byrne's source material. Granted, certain characters and events are missing, but the X-Men actually go on a space mission and battle aliens this time around. Even if the plot is more faithful though, the humanity that made the comic storyline leap off the pages is sorely lacking.
You gave us quite a scare up there. How are you feeling?
Actually, I feel fine.
Simon Kinberg, who co-wrote The Last Stand, was the sole writer and director for Dark Phoenix. Seriously? That's like if Warner Brothers asked Joel Schumacher to direct Batman Begins after the travesty that was Batman and Robin.
Excuse me, Chief. I got something here you might want to see.
Kinberg was also a writer on 2015's Fantastic Four, and just as that reboot failed to learn from its predecessors, Dark Phoenix repeats more mistakes than it corrects.
Oh yeah, this one is definitely going on Instagram.
Remember how The Last Stand unceremoniously killed off Cyclops, Xavier, and other key X-Men? Well, another major character bites the dust in Dark Phoenix, and their death could not have been more half-assed.
You're my family, Jean. Stop. No matter what.
Stop.
Of course, seeing as how this particular actor has repeatedly indicated that they wanted out of the franchise, their abrupt exit isn't all that surprising. Regardless, that doesn't excuse the fact that this character deserved much better.
Why did you make me do that?
Jean Grey and the Phoenix may be given more screen time here, but the character development is still inadequate.
Are you threatening me?
That's right.
That would be a bad idea.
The tagline for this movie reads, "Every hero has a dark side," but we never delve that deep into the darkness or psychological turmoil fuming within Jean. Her transformation into the Phoenix is undercooked, and just when she starts to rise up as an intimidating force, the film rushes to an anticlimax. This is where Dark Phoenix really comes up short compared to The Last Stand.
No, stop it!
As flawed as The Last Stand was, at least it felt like an event picture with a massive cast, bombastic action, and high stakes. Here, most of the X-Men are underutilized, the action is relatively small in scale compared to what we've seen before, and the audience never feels the gravitas they should.
The world is on the brink. I'm sorry, I didn't stop it sooner.
The biggest problem with Dark Phoenix is that it doesn't just fail as an adaptation of an acclaimed comic storyline either. Above all else, the film fails as a send-off for this incarnation of the X-Men.
Tell me how we fix this, Charles. Tell me what to do.
I don't know what to do.
Now that Disney is running the show, it's been confirmed that Dark Phoenix will be the final X-Men film in this continuity. While the New Mutants is technically on the way, it's safe to say we won't be seeing James McAvoy as Charles Xavier or Michael Fassbender as Eric Lehnsherr ever again. This is the true last stand, and after 20 years, Dark Phoenix should have been an epic farewell to the franchise that gave birth to the modern superhero movie. Instead, Dark Phoenix leaves us feeling grateful that the flame is finally out.
I've never been prouder. Enjoy yourselves. You certainly deserve it.
Early on in Dark Phoenix, Charles tells a young Jean that she's not broken.
You think you can fix me?
Jean, you are not broken.
The same sadly can't be said about the state of X-Men, and nothing short of a reboot can fix it. That being said, we are bound to see new versions of the X-Men join the MCU somewhere down the line. Just as X-Men First Class restored our faith in the franchise, we're sure that the MCU can do the same with the introduction of Xavier's School for Gifted Youngsters.
I expect more from you.
After this massive misfire though, chances are we won't be getting a worthy Dark Phoenix film adaptation anytime soon.
Damn it, man. Your homeland will be gone. Everything you care about.
Save it.
Don't do this, Eric.
The girl dies.
Do you agree with our picks? Check out this other recent clip from WatchMojo, and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.